Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today is General Ravi Shankar, and he's going to look at this whole Russia, United States, Ukraine evolving situation, and he has a very different take on what he thinks Trump is thinking. It's a very out of the box thinking that Trump seems to have adopted. We may not be looking at it at the depth that it requires. All that and more with General Ravi Shankar. General sir, namaskar and welcome to P Guru's channel.
Namaskar. Thanks a lot, Sree Iyer ji. Long time. 1 week seems a long time since we met.
A week is a long time in politics. A week is also a long time in geopolitics. So over to you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Very interesting thing. You know, the mineral deal is going to be signed tomorrow, and a lot of things are happening. So one dictator meeting another dictator and sorts of things like that. And before this, the UK Prime Minister met Trump, and then before that, Macron met. A lot of going on and off. It appears as if Trump is buying half of Ukraine off, and after that also there's no guarantee that there'll be peace. So what we'll do is, it looks messy at the outset. Let's be very frank. But like you rightly said, I think there's a completely out-of-the-box solution. Let me put it this way. Everyone says that Trump is transactional. He's got no strategy. He's got no nothing. One thing you have to grant him. He's been elected the president of USA for the second time after losing an election. A person who does that, and he's come through a lot of court actions and all that. One who can do all that should have a strategy somewhere, isn't it? Some strategy is there. So what's that strategy? That's what we have to understand and see where that strategy is taking everyone. So, can we have the slides? First, what I'll do is I'll explain the whole thing, and then we'll go one by one. I think this mineral deal is killing many birds with one stone. I've laid the birds out there, and the main bird is on top. The main bird is on top. And we'll come to that, right? We'll come to that. There's no... First, let's take a stock of what's happening in the Ukraine war. The front has not changed, but there's fighting going on. There's no peace. Let's be very clear. There's no peace at all. Ukraine is hitting Russia deep into its infrastructure, oil refineries and all that. Also in the, Black Sea, Russian naval ships and, freight and all is being attacked. So if someone thinks that Russia is winning away the war, I don't think so, militarily, right? If it had been, it should have wrapped up this whole Ukraine long back. There's some issue out there. And fundamentally, Russia can't go forward, Ukraine can't retake. That's the state it is. If Russia goes forward, it opens itself to an insurgency. And then, on top, at this place here, Kursk, there's some Russian territory with Ukraine hands. So that's got value. Okay. And this is what the precursor to all this is Russia has been making maximalist demands, and they can't be met. Everyone knows it. Putin's demands are something like, I want the moon at no cost. No one's going to give him that. And Trump has already said, that was day before yesterday, that Russia will have to make concessions. Then yesterday again he reiterated that, look, we'll get as much territory as possible back. Official position of America, Pete Hegseth, he said you can't go back to 2014 lines, that thing. So between 14 and now, there's a lot of space which Russia has taken. So it's not as if entire territory is given away. But let's be very clear. Putin is very wily. He's going to manipulate Trump, and he'll divide the West. Apparently, it appears that it is happening. But is it happening? We'll see. And interesting, North Korea has deployed some troops back. That's today's report. And so South Korean channels are mentioning that North Korea has deployed more troops into the Kursk area. So this is the status at this point of time. Okay, let's understand this mineral deal. What is this? But first, before that, let's understand the minerals. Where are the minerals? If you see, I mean, I have not put all minerals. Ukraine is a mineral-rich country, but most of the minerals there are not exploited so far. So if you look at this, these yellow ones, this is full of titanium. I mean, if you think titanium is, a rare metal, no. Complete Deccan Plateau is full of titanium. Now, let me explain this thing one by one, what this means. Extraction of titanium is a very environmentally degrading process and a costly process. And that's the same for all these. Now, graphite is very important. Again, graphite, it's not only rare earths. I mean, the world lived without rare earths for so many centuries. But you can't live without graphite. All your carbon brushes, everything are all graphite, basically. Your generator brushes and things like that. Titanium is, of course, a light metal, strong metal, costly metal. Okay, rare earths are green. See this, look at this here. Okay, what do you see? Green here and green here. That's all. And some part of this green is in Donbass area, across the line. Okay. The interesting thing is lithium. This. And lithium is here, untapped lithium. Okay. So these four, the rest are there, manganese and cesium and all that. Now, what's the status? Now, 63% of Ukrainian coal mines and magnesium, cesium, all rare earth deposits are all in Russia, which I showed you on the map. But if USA gets hold of the rare earths, its dependence on China will reduce because China controls 75% of the rare earth market. Some say 80, some say 60. That's a variable, but let's say 75% for fun's sake. Then I believe that Ukraine has about 20,000 mineral deposits spread all over. And it covers about 116 types of minerals. And out of this, only 15% of the sites have been developed. Right? Or they were being mined when Russia invaded. After that, nothing has happened. The lithium sites are not tapped. Now, let me touch this lithium business. Lithium is not easy to tap. You know, the people about last year, people said, oh, there's a lot of lithium in J&K.
Right.
You know, in the Katra area and all that. What happened after that? Nothing. Zero. It's pretty deep. It's costly to bring it out. You need, right. Rare earth deposits have not been mined so far. Again, it all comes down to the fact that it's environmentally unfriendly. And more importantly, where there it's environmental unfriendliness, you need to invest a lot of investment, which Ukraine never had. Neither does Russia have. Let's be very clear. Russia also doesn't have the capability to mine it. So, if you want to develop all this, it's going to be very difficult, expensive, and time-consuming. It's not going to happen in a hurry. There's a long-term program. And the mineral deal will go through. It's a long-term. If there's any country which today can handle all this with the kind of investments you're looking at, it could be only China or USA. USA will not let China come in, and USA is making the deal. So it is US investors who have to make the deal. Okay. Now, the point is, can we take this slide off for a minute, please? Point one has to understand in this is, why does USA want lithium and all those things, rare earths, energy? Energy is the name of the game. Titanium. What is the requirement of energy? AI. For AI, you need energy. I mean, that energy won't be met by lithium, incidentally. But lithium is something which will power you to space. It will give your EVs. And it will help in make America great again and getting all the infrastructure back to, getting all those factories and all reset in America. What shall I say? It's not no more near shoring, friend shoring, it's reshoring into America. For that, you need lithium, you need titanium. Okay. So, this whole thing is to a large extent being driven by some team behind Trump to get hold of this. Is this a new plan? I don't think so. Of course, America has given a lot of money to Ukraine. Whether it's 100 billion, 200, 300 is a matter of, what shall I say, debate. But America is given, so it's taking its money back. And it's also been clarified, EU also has given its money on grant, some on grant, but lot of loans and long-term things. So even EU wants a pie in this, because EU is taken there. Everyone has put money in Ukraine. So everyone will want to get their money back. They can't afford to give it free, especially when their own economies are in a bad shape. Then there's this business of reconstruction. What does reconstruction involve in Ukraine? It involves making all this infrastructure for these mining and all that, which means rail, tracks, roads, everything, plus resettling all these refugees who have gone out or other displaced personnel, then ports, everything. So now what happens? The moment that happens, I'm now talking only of Ukraine, I'll come to Russia. When that happens, there has to be security on ground. Assuming that there's a peace deal and all this is allowed, there'll be security on ground. Whose security? So far, Trump says Europe will take care of that security. Europe will be very happy to take care of that security. Because the moment the Europeans go and sit in Ukraine and are allowed to sit in Ukraine, Russia can't do much. The boots on ground, no? The threat is manifest still. I mean, people are there. You just have to get the weapons tomorrow to do what you want to do. So you got minerals, you got this thing. So Europe is also going along with this plan. Zelensky is also okay because he doesn't have to pay anything. He'll continue. And he will ensure that, US troops continue or US cover is there, all that. He's getting money, all that. So he is happy. And fighting will end. And he'll get back as much territory as possible. His minimum bet will be, I'll go back to the original, what part I was holding before the onset of this invasion. Okay, so that's his deal. Let's look at Russia. Russia also wants to end this war. It's not easy for Russia to continue this war. A lot of people are talking nonsense that, look, Russia can continue with this war. They're losing people. There's a point. And you have to get out of a wartime economy. You can't live on a wartime economy. And till this war continues, Russia will be in the clutches of China. So it wants to get off that. It wants to be a power on its own. So what? So they'll do a deal with Trump. Putin thinks he can do a good deal with Trump. That's fair. If he can get something good for Russia, and it's a damn good thing, right? So, but who has to invest? even if the mine, shines, everything are there, someone has to invest in it. Russia doesn't have the money to invest. So who will invest? Russia, US. So in essence, what's happening? Can we have that map, please? Or put the slide on. Can we have the map? Yeah. See, you look at it. In case these, they start mining for rare earths here. Okay. They start mining for rare earths out here. Okay. So this side also American investment, this side also American investment. So it will be in everyone's interest to maintain peace. And not only that, Putin is saying, okay, you invest in more oil, yeah, all that nonsense. American. So now that means America and USA, Russia will be on some kind of call it what you want. I won't say pals. They won't be pals, but they will be in some equation. So that's happiness. So that deal, is there. So in which case Russia gets neutralized. Russia will not agree to a negotiated settlement. He wants a long negotiated settlement, which he'll never get. But to even start everything, there'll be some kind of a frozen border or some ceasefire, or at least no fire, some cold peace, hot war, all that nonsense, whatever you call. But the things will cool down, like it's happened in Gaza. What's happened in Gaza? All that everything is cooled down. No one is firing, nothing. So something like that will happen, and then they will start trading things, and they'll start a commission who will reset the border. Some negotiation will go down. After some time, everyone will realize that no, peace is better, and they'll return to peace. Then minerals negotiation will start. So Trump, the way I look at it, he'll do negotiation with Ukraine, he'll do negotiation with Russia. He's playing both hands. Huh? So Europe doesn't want to get left out. So already Macron has said, no, we'll also come in and get some minerals of our own, because we also put money in it. So I'm sure the British Prime Minister also has agreed to this. And Germany also will fall in line. I mean, mind you, Germany is in its own problem because their government is not yet formed. They've just finished the elections. What will be the shape of that government? No one knows. What will be the policy? No one knows. By then, this deal will go ahead a little. So all this is happening. Yeah, please take it off. Now I think we don't need this slide. So all this is happening. Okay. All three are this thing. Plus, Russia has said, I want a wider agreement with USA. USA will give it. He'll give it. So you'll say why? Very simple. Trump's aim so far is very clear. He's aiming at China. That I've done one program.
We've done that.
Tomorrow, we'll do one more. Sunday, I'm going to do one more. If you want to join in, we can join in. You can go live whenever you want. It has to be in the afternoon or early, maybe in the morning. So if you see the program, and I'm not saying this. The point is, I'm not saying it. It's not the Western press which is saying. The Chinese press says so. The Chinese press and media are analyzing each aspect of how Trump is aiming at them very detailed. That detailed analysis tells you the paranoia which is there in China. What if Russia tomorrow runs away? Today Russia is like a runaway bride. It doesn't know where it will run away, this side or that side. Okay. So that's also there. That issue is alive. I'll come to China a little later. So the deal for Trump with and Russia has to be beyond this border, and that's the aim. And Russia has been said, okay, we'll deal with the Arctic lanes and all that. So Arctic lanes are important for Russia. Greenland, Arctic lanes, energy, all the same story. Energy, minerals, Arctic lanes, economy. Okay. Now, what is the switch Trump has done, which many people are not getting it? Trump is a deal maker. Forget about transaction or not, he's a deal maker. He is not approached this whole story geopolitically. You defeat that fellow by war, and then you go and then you say Trump is a useless fellow, but Putin is a useless fellow, and put Putin in front, war crimes, war crimes. That transactionality here is limited to saying, yeah, forget all that. Let's end the war. Just to get after Putin, so many people don't have to get killed, which I think is sensible. Okay. There might be flaws in this whole thing, but I'm analyzing it from Trump, which is an out-of-box solution. You'll get peace. There'll be peace. And Russia has been given a carrot, you do this, you do that, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. Whether that carrot is eaten or not, we don't know. A lot of people are saying, oh, Putin will eat up Trump. So far, it doesn't appear so. Putin, it appears, he says, I'm prepared to do. Give me what I want. Then the issue of security guarantee. Security guarantee, someone asked Trump, what about security guarantee for Ukraine? He said, no, I'm not going to give any troops. UK will put troops and Germany will put troops and all European troops will be there. I will be a backstop. So I'll be there. Don't worry. I'll trust Trump. Trump doesn't want any of these chaps there. But Putin doesn't want any of these chaps there. But Putin's hand will be twisted in this. If Putin doesn't budge, there's no end to the war. There's no deal. I think somewhere in some picture, deal or not deal, deal or no deal. So that story is going on. So now in this whole business, okay, there's going to be a reconstruction fund set up. Once you put a reconstruction fund, they're saying, okay, 50% Ukrainian, 50% American. So reconstruction money will also go back to USA. And then when you do reconstruction, you have the capability of shaping the geopolitical system. There's something like a Marshall Plan. Germany. Of course, those days were different, the equations are different. But the moment you look at reconstruction and this thing, you build a new Ukraine. Whether new Ukraine will come build itself or not is a different story. But you have a handle in Ukraine. So your original political objective of keeping a finger under Russian belly by having substantial presence in Ukraine is there. Only thing, you're not doing it with missiles, you're doing it with economic interests. Will Russia invade Ukraine or not? He'll not, because he's got his own mines. There'll be mines, no? If something will happen in those mines, then there'll be private security people. Who will be private security people? Ex-American. There will be some, Putin will not allow, there'll be some deal. A deal is being made. The deal will be in such a manner that no one will want to lose. So if no one wants to lose, USA wins. I mean, this is what one has to understand. Okay. Now, let's get the slides back, please. Yeah, this is the Russian.
No. This.
Yeah, this is fine. This is the Chinese reaction. This is from China. See, all that is in Chinese. Guancha, vernacular, which I have translated. Trump covets Ukrainian rare earth to deal with China. Is it possible? They're examining it. That examination I'll do separately. I'll not get into the details. But you should know that they're worried. But this is not the only thing. This is in South China Morning Post. Will Putin help Trump challenge China's stranglehold on rare earths? So that's also on. If you see the international media and the national media, both are debating this. And then, of course, this US bid to divide China and Russia US bid to divide China, Russia doomed to fail. And, all that, whatever that. Yeah, please take it off. That's it. So, the Chinese at this point of time, many people say, no, nothing will happen. Or linkages with Russia are too deep. Uh, you know, we trust each other. What's that? No holds barred friendship, no secrets friendship, and friendship without limits, and all that is there. And Putin is a great fellow. He will not do anything. But in a world of real politics, anything can happen. See, this guy John Mearsheimer, all for the past 3 years, ever since the Ukraine war has started, has been saying, Russia is not your enemy. Your problem is China. That's what he's been saying. You take any video of John Mearsheimer, that's what he's been saying. You should be friends with Russia and enemy. I mean, and sort of focus yourself on China because that's a pacing threat. Isn't that exactly what Trump is attempting? The only thing is, and that's exactly what he says. Look, I'll make a deal with Russia, get Russia out of the equation, and I'll deal with China. So what's wrong with it? I mean, let's look at it. In the process, Europe gets its thing today. The complete Europe also has to realize they're getting to it. Why should this war continue? Is there a reason? For the past 4 years, you're saying this war should stop. When you get a chance to stop the war, you feel no, USA has gone over our head. And well, Europe can do very little about it because they don't have the muscle power, either money power or military power to go against Trump. If you saw the meeting with Starmer and the press conference which is there, Starmer was looking like a joker sitting in one corner. At least Macron was very sharp. He could interject and all that. So Starmer had nothing. UK के पास तो टन गोपाल है, कुछ नहीं है. तो अभी बचा क्या है? Germany will get around. After that, all the other states will fall in line. All the other states will fall in line. Line 1. Everyone will get their little bit of titanium and they can go home. So the point is that he is hitting many things. He's getting peace. He is aiming at China, and he is, getting Russia on his side. Even if Russia is not on his side, it will be neutral. Ukraine tamps down, then he gets to make money. He'll make money on that so far. So far in this entire war, USA has been making money. He'll also force Europe to spend money on their defense. He says, look, he's very, very clearly said, I'm not going to defend you, you defend yourself. So if he has to defend, they have to defend themselves. What will they do? They have to buy arms. Where will they go for arms? They'll go to USA. Because they don't want to let, go off NATO. If they go off NATO, they are on their own, which they can't handle Russia. So they have to go back to Trump and USA for arms to keep NATO on their side. So NATO is the carrot on their head. So there are a lot of angles. People initially, when that meeting happened in Riyadh, they said, look, Trump team doesn't seem to have a plan. Russia holds all the cards, all that. That narrative was being set out. That lasted 48 hours or maybe 72 hours. But now you have to see, every equation has two sides. There's a left side of the equation and right side of the equation. It's not good to see only one side of the equation. You have to see the other side. There will be holes in this story. There will be slippages. Already Trump has changed his, 4 times he's changed his statements. Today someone asked him, you're going to deal with Zelensky. You called him a dictator. He said, did I call him dictator? I don't think so. That's what he said. I saw that. So a lot of funny things are happening on this Mother Earth. I mean, the point is that those of us who think that Trump is playing a transactional, non strategic role, I think we have to start rethinking. That's my short point. Okay, where does it leave India? That's the point, the way I look at it. Uh, Look, at the outset, we maintained a balance between Russia and Ukraine. That will continue. There's no problem. And we'll still be a conduit to speak to both in case a tough situation comes up. Zelensky to chodo, but for Russia, we'll be used as a conduit. I'm very sure already we are doing that, one way or the other. Okay. Then you look at it. If there's a peace deal between Russia and USA, you're off the hook. Okay, you are off the hook. One more thing which Trump is doing with Russia, by putting Russia the way it is, Iran will go fat. You know that China, Iran, North Korea, that great alternate quadrilateral which was coming up, that will get stymied. So he's actually hitting out at North Korea, Iran also. So he's got one more, and now he'll start pressurizing Iran separately. For that, he has already bribed Pakistan. He's primed Pakistan. He'll use Pakistan to lapeto Iran. There's a plan. You can see it. He's given, I think, some $40 billion or so to some loan type to Pakistan. 2020 in 2 tranches, World Bank, all that. What for? Iran. Right. So the Middle East anyway is in his kabza. And China is nowhere in Middle East. You know, you see articles in Chinese press. Oh, what role will China have in a peace deal with Ukraine, Russia? Oh, a lot of thinking in Chinese. But in English, it is nothing. Same thing. In Middle East, it has got no role. Another carrot he'll give to Russia is, oh, okay, I'll admit you back into the Middle East. I'll give you a role in this thing. Because you must also realize that Russia was kicked out of Syria. Syria. So Russia has no leg to stand in the Middle East. So he'll give some admittance back, some small role. So there's a very clear plan. So coming back to us, we are okay with this rapprochement. Okay. And for us, we have a great opportunity to lapeto Ukrainian technology. We keep talking of technology. You keep talking of technology, you don't have technology. Your complete engine technology is with Ukraine. I mean, people don't know the Antonov factory is in Ukraine. Antonov was a AN-32, AN-12, all those planes. They're being made in Ukraine, and those guys have the technology for it. Your ships, turbines come from Ukraine. A lot of technology in Ukraine still resident. We made a mistake when Russia USSR broke up. We didn't. Those chaps said, "You please take this technology." We were rank idiots at that point of time. We didn't take it. The Chinese took it. At least now go and grab Ukrainian technology. It's up for grabs, free of cost. Okay, make some deals. So there is opportunity for India. And the faster this finishes, this story, the better it is for us. Okay. And then if USA concentrates on China, the best thing for us. Right. So these are my points. Yeah, please, Sree here.
Thank you, General. I have a couple of things. First is that Ukrainians speak very decent English. So language will not be a barrier for India. Should it engage to try and get some technology transferred? The universities are top of the line. I would encourage students who are trying to, look, you are getting stuck with reservation problems and other things. do go to Ukraine when there is peace, and do study there and see if India can actually get some of the physics professors, the physics, chemistry, basic sciences. Their fundae are solid, solid. Sir, you remember, I used to read this book for engineering, Timoshenko and Young.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
remember if it was Strength of Materials, or it was a basic, very well written book. And recently, one interesting thing has happened. That's what I wanted to bring attention to our viewers. Viewers, I've been talking about this for the last couple of days. See, Ukraine has developed a drone which is not based on Wi-Fi, but they have found an alternate way to guide them. And this is becoming hard for Russians to intercept. There are two types of drones that they have started using now. One is called Trembita, Trembita. Can you just open the link, please? Yeah. So Trembita drones, they are very cleverly using it in the sense that not every Trembita drone has a warhead. There are a lot of dummies that are being thrown. Basically, what I think they are trying to do is a cleverer
No, no.
version of what
This
Hezbollah tried.
This is a standard tactic today. The standard tactic is manned, unmanned, right? Warhead, no warhead. Then you say aerial and ground. These are combinations. So yeah, this is a standard. You put a swarm. In that swarm, there'll be out of 10, there'll be 5 without a warhead, 5 with a warhead. And only one is at a target. This is a standard operating procedure. But the thing is that the thing with this is that these drones can hit Russia deep, which they have been hitting. So those of us who think that Russia is running away with this war, no, it's not. Yeah, please, sir.
Yeah, there's also one other thing called this called Bulava. It's a strike drone. By the way, that article gives you all this data, so please do read it. It is not behind a paywall, so you can read it. I have put the link in the video, so go through that. The point I'm trying to make is this is all completely designed and manufactured in Ukraine, and per drone cost is like a few $1,000s. And they are using what money is left over from the last US aid to basically push this effort. What all this means is Russia can't also just sit and say, I will demand this land, this land, this land. There are limits to how far they can probably push this thing. I think it's a good time to talk peace, sir, and I think peace might actually be there. Although, again, like you said, it'll be an uneasy peace for some time. And
Yeah,
then,
it'll be uneasy peace, and slowly people will lose their heat, and
yeah.
it'll come to something. But I don't know whether there'll be ultimate peace. At least for the next 5-10 years, there'll be some kind of peace before something else happens and something these things are there. But the point is, it's good for many people. It's good for us. It's good for US. It's good for Russia. It's good for Ukraine. It's also good for Europe. The fact that a war ends is good. The terms and conditions are debatable. Okay, a deal is debatable. No one will go in for a deal with a total loss. In any case, for 3 years you couldn't handle Putin. Here's a person who comes and he's handling Putin. You might find a lot of fault with what Trump is doing. I mean, there's a contra view. I can argue exactly opposite. I can view exactly opposite. And say, a lot of people are saying Putin is winning. Putin has already given a victory speech today. It's on the net. It's on the net. It's on this social media. Or we have won the war. Those narratives will go. But I am looking at it from an absolutely cold, realistic guy. Like I said, you have to understand not only this, because all this, when when we were young, we were taught when you're in scouts and NCC and all, if you don't have a matchstick, how do you burn leaves and all that? So what you did, you took a lens, you used it, at the focal point of that lens. Using this solar energy, you burnt leaves and you lit a fire, or you used a torch cell, the reflector of a torch, and all that. All those tricks which you did. This is exactly what Trump is doing to China. Wherever, whatever he is doing, that focuses China. I mean, it's very clear. And you will not don't know the focus. For us, it's all disjointed. The heat is on China. That's the point. And, so, yeah, please.
Thank you so much, General Ravi Shankar. 40 minutes flew just like that, and we have a few questions for you. These are